Electricity Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa has cited delays in the return of generation capacity among the reasons South Africa has been hit by load shedding. Eskom yesterday announced that it will implement stage 2 rolling blackouts during evening peak periods until at least tomorrow. Giving an update on the country's generation performance in Pretoria this morning, Ramokgopa said outage slips amounted to about 3,100 megawatts.
The reason why we are here today is primarily because that promise of making sure that that plant maintenance comes down to below 5,000, we have not been able to fulfill it. So essentially, we have experienced what in technical terms we call outage slips. So outage slips really simply means that there's a promise. Just imagine you take your car to a dealership for a service, and they tell you that bring it in the morning and then you'll have it available in the afternoon at 5. And then at 5 you go, they tell you, sorry, we are not ready, please come tomorrow. You go tomorrow, says, please, we are still not ready, please come the other day. Of course, we have made the necessary arrangements when they told you that they need it for the day, and then you can come fetch it close of business. You can do interim arrangements, how you drop kids at home, how you fetch them, rather at school, how you fetch them from school. You could hire a car for the day. Those who are privileged, you can Uber. Those who are privileged, I'm using that as an illustration. Of course, in this instance, we have failed to meet that promise. So that car that we said will be delivered by end of business has not been delivered by end of business. So it means that in this illustration of a car, then you must make other means which were not necessarily in your plans. Of course, in this instance, those outage slips, they amount to about 3,100 megawatts. So we had said that when we enter this winter period, we would have brought down that plant maintenance, and in this instance, by 3,100 megawatts, and those units have not come back. Those units have not come back as a result of a multiplicity of reasons. Some of them had to do with third-party players, the contractors, the OEMs that have not delivered. But that's not for the public. I think that's for us to manage. So this represents, I think, a failure on our part to ensure that there's proper management of the OEMs, and then we have that has resulted in outage slips. And once we have those outage slips, there's very little headroom for you to accommodate any losses in relation to generation capacity. Of course, Mr. Marokane and Becky will share with you some of the units that we have lost, but that's not the main reason. Even if we had lost that capacity, if these units that were on plant maintenance had come back on time, would have been able to absorb these units that are failing. I always make the point, it's in the nature of these units. These are moving engineering parts. They are likely going to fail. So you must create conditions to absorb such a failure, anticipate the possibility of that happening. So in this instance, even with these units that have failed, having failed, if we had delivered on the outage slips, we should not be experiencing a load shedding. So I want to just say to the rest of the country, once more, almost profuse and sincere apologies. So, I mean, I'm the first one to accept that in this instance, really it's not about the engineering performance of the units. It has to do with how we're able to manage this situation.